Happy Monday, 8th graders. It's Miss Hill, and I am bringing you some notes from lesson 1.5. If you hear some pug snorts in the background, that is Zuzu, and she is here with me going over some solving equations with exponents. This is going to be our last official lesson for Math 8. Next week, I'm going to bring you a super fun activity that's going to close out the year and give you something awesome to take with you as you head off to your freshman year in high school. So our last official lesson is a review of lesson 1.5, which is solving equations, which you've been doing a great job of. This time, these equations have some exponents. So two of the biggest exponents you are going to work with in algebra next year is going to be the squared and the cubed exponent. So when it's got the little baby 2 up top, that's saying that it is squared, meaning it has 2 of those bases that it's multiplying together. Cubed just means it's got 3 of them. So you've got 3 of those bases that you're multiplying together. The first 2 examples they ran through on the video talked about square roots and the importance of making sure that when you find the square root of a positive number, that you write the positive and negative answer. So when I'm looking at x squared is equal to 25, I'm asking myself, well, what number times itself would give me 25? And the answer that comes right to mind is 5. Now, what I want to be careful of, and I want to make sure that you're doing next year in algebra, is that you're writing that answer could be 5, but it could also be negative 5. Because a negative times a negative gives me that positive 25. So you can write it as plus or minus 5, or positive or negative 5 is your answer. The only issue comes with example number 2, which is when the number inside that square root symbol, inside that grouping, is a negative number, that we cannot find an actual square root to a negative number. Can find a cube root to a negative number, but no number times itself will give me a negative 81. So in that case, x is no solution. They walked you through these 4 examples in the video of solving an equation when I have the exponent of 2. X squared equals 9. That one's pretty straightforward. I'm just asking myself what number times itself gives me 9. That's plus or minus 3, or positive or negative 3. In the second example, they just all of a sudden jumped to this and didn't give you a lot of warning. But basically, I'm still using my PEMDAS backwards. I'm still using all the same rules, and I want to save the exponent for the very last move that I make. So I'm looking at that equation as if this exponent of 2 isn't even there. So if I pretend that's not even there, first thing I'm going to do is add my 2 to both sides. Then I'm going to divide by 5. That left me with x squared is equal to 16. Once I get to that place where all I have left to do is the exponent, that's when I'm going to pull in the square root. I'm going to find the square root of both of those, of x squared and of 16. Square root of x is x, and square root of 16 is positive or negative 4. Same thing with those bottom 2 examples that they walked you through. Again, PEMDAS backwards. Start with your subtraction and your addition. Then you're going to move to any multiplication or division. Then you're going to tackle your exponents. They didn't really give you anything to worry about in terms of grouping or parentheses, so you didn't need to distribute. So your exponents would be your last move. Let me show you what it would look like if I'm dealing with cubed roots. Now, again, cubed roots, all that's saying is what number times itself one more time. So meaning I have 3 of them that I'm multiplying together. What number is going to give me that? Okay, so again, still PEMDAS backwards. That will never ever change, no matter what kind of equation that you are solving. You are always going PEMDAS backwards. So I'm starting with addition and subtraction, just ignoring that exponent for a minute. I'm going to add 5. In this first example, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. They were a little tricky there because I gave you a negative 59. So when I add a positive 5, that actually looks like subtraction. So I get a negative 54. Then I'm going to divide by the 2 that's out in front of the variable. Divide by 2 off of both sides. So I end up with x cubed is equal to negative 27. So what I'm asking myself is, in order to find out what x is, I want to do the cubed root, meaning I'm just finding out what number times itself one more time is going to give me negative 27. That answer would be negative 3. So in this case, I can find the cubed root of a negative number, because a negative number times a negative number times another negative number would give me a negative number. The last example there on the page looks crazy challenging, but again, if you just stop, think about PEMDAS backwards. The first thing I need to do is my addition and subtraction, which is that negative 6 out there. Opposite of a negative 6 is a positive 6, so add 6 to both sides. That gave you x cubed over 2 is equal to 108. Then what I did is I multiplied by both sides by 2 because my problem was dividing by 2. When I multiply both sides by 2, I get x cubed is equal to 216. Again, I need to find what the cubed root x cubed would be. That would be x. So the cubed root of 216, I'm asking myself what number times itself again is going to give me 216. That answer is 6. I have a huge clue for you, and that is on these problems, especially a cubed root. It is perfectly okay in our work to pull out a calculator and find the cubed root. Most of your calculators have that option. You might have to hit the second key in order to access it, but you should be able to use a calculator to find a cubed root. That would be totally okay in the work that we're doing this week. Okay, that's it from me for our final lesson together. I am available anytime this week to have a one-on-one with you. So if you'd like to go through the worksheet together, if you have questions, if you just want to check in and say hi, I would love to see your face. So please schedule an opportunity with me. I'll put the link to this assignment so that we can say hi and anything else you want to talk about. This assignment is not due until Monday, so I'm giving you the weekend since we had Memorial Day. I'm giving you the weekend to turn this assignment in. So it is not due on Friday. It is due on Monday, June 1st, so that you have a little bit more time, okay? I hope that you have a wonderful day, and text, email, or schedule a time for us to meet so I can help you with any questions you've got. Bye, guys.